Hey there, girlfriend. Ingafay here. Super excited to share another coaching girlfriend with you today. Terrell Salley-Holliman is my girlfriend's name, and she is a health coach. And she wants to help you focus on you being the healthiest so you can have a ripple effect in your family, the world, community, and even the nation, girl. So I am super excited about sharing her with you today so we can get some really good health tips. So we will see you inside. What's up, Terrell girl?
Girl, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I am so excited to share you with my tribe today and wanted to talk today about how eating, how you want to eat according to your blood type. But before we get into that today, I wanted us to find out a little bit more about you, who you are, what you do, and who you serve, girl. So tell us.
Well, I have to thank you so much for this opportunity because I am definitely driven with regard to handling this and the message just because of my own health issues. That's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. But let me tell you, I'm Coach T with the red glasses, actually rocking the red today.
Loving the red, girl. Loving the
I
red.
love the red. The red is my thing, right? And it gives me energy and it gives me, it's just all the good things. But anyway, I'm a blood type lifestyle health coach and I equip professional women like yourself in terms of helping them really heal their bodies from dis-ease. So they thrive unapologetically as they walk on this earth with God. And I do it through the blood typing way of eating. So I'm a mom, I have two grown kids. I've been married over 33 years now. So,
Wow.
girl, I'm blessed.
Yes, 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 yes. So I know that you didn't just haphazardly get into this eating by your love type. So tell us a little bit about how you got here, what kind of struggles you went through that really made you really want to hone into this.
Well, girl, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. Gosh, it's about 30 years ago. I got diagnosed with something called systemic lupus, and I had
Wow.
no clue to it. I was like, oh God, am I going to die? That's just how I felt. And the doctor said, if you listen to me, you will have a long, lengthy, healthy lifestyle. And I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't believe him really. I mean, I'm thinking, I told him, you must be say that to everybody you say this to. He's like, no, honestly, you can. So after getting that diagnosis, girl, I went straight into denial. And there's 5 stages of grief, and I went through all five. As
Wow.
a result of the denial, I gained 100 pounds because I had no self control. I was just eating uncontrollably. I would eat late at night. I would eat volumes of food. I mean, like plates of food. I just did everything, which they, which you wouldn't believe, so that I couldn't deal with what was going on. And I feel a lot of people do that. And it could be not just having medical issues, it could be just stress of your life, and people just go into denial. So I did that for about how many years? I did that for about 11 years, including the
Wow.
two kids. So that added weight. And then one day, my physician said to me, if you can continue eating like this and you continue not taking care of yourself like this, because I was working 55-hour work weeks, sometimes 70 in the marketplace that I was in at the time, he said, you're going to die. And he said, if
Wow.
you want to live and really do something else besides doing what you're doing, because your husband will be with a new wife and your kids will have a new mom, I suggest you figure out something.
He put it
So,
out there, didn't he?
oh, yeah, he's real Brooklyn, girl, real Brooklyn, New York. And I was like, okay, okay. I'm crying in the office and snot coming down my nose and everything. And he said, you're going to have to do something. You really got to get that weight off because you're not really helping your condition. And you got all this medicine you're dealing with. He said, come on now. This is ridiculous. So that's the year I said to God, I said, okay, God, you got to help me. I got to figure this out. So I just started working out and I lost about 50 pounds in 18 months. And then the doctor was all excited and he's like, you got to lose more. And I was like, I don't want to lose more. He said, you've got to lose more. So he demanded, I didn't say he asked me, right? I said he demanded that
Right.
I start swimming. So I said, black girls don't swim because we don't get our hair wet. I totally said that. So, he's like, he said, I don't care what color skin you are. You gonna learn how to swim. So I learned how to swim, and as a result of that, I love swimming now. I'm a master swimmer. I've done a triathlon. It's just
Oh,
amazing.
that's
So
cool.
yeah, right. Just from that. But I only lost 5 pounds at that time when that happened. So he put me on to Weight Watchers. He wrote a script and told him how much my weight had to be by the time I finished the program. So that's how that went. And
Wow.
then I got rid of the next 50 pounds, and then I started really kind of playing around with stuff because my husband brought the book in the house called Eating for Your Blood Type by Dr. Um, Peter. I think it's Peter because I get them mixed up. One is the son and one is the father. But the Amato are their last names. And I started reading the book and I was like, this is pretty cool. Maybe I should look more into that. So I
Right.
started really playing around with it. We both played around with it a little bit. And then around 2017, I got real serious because his mother passed suddenly from a heart attack.
Wow.
And that really scared me so much. And I told him, I said, we really got to take this seriously. And we went full, no, like full, like no brakes, full gas on this, and just went, and went forward with it. So that's how our life is right now. And I helped quite a few women, you know, change their lifestyles with using it too, because they found great results also. So, and I
Right.
love what I do. So it's just really helping everyone get really free from the disease that's going on in our bodies. And
Right.
unfortunately, the top five, which a lot of people do know and some people might not know, is heart disease,
Mhm.
obesity,
Mhm.
hypertension,
Mhm.
cancer.
Mhm.
These are some high ones, that we have to deal with, and it can be eradicated. I really feel they can.
Wow. Wow. So when you
Hmm.
started talking, the one thing came to mind is you said that your husband decided to do the diet with you. Do you guys happen to be the same blood type? I was just curious about that.
No, we are not the same at all. And I get that question a lot when I do
Yeah.
master classes. Those, the often questions I get is, can I still do this if I have a different blood type in the household? Absolutely. Another question I often get is, does this really work, Coach T? Because I know you're saying all of this, but does it work? Yes. And I can give you a quick example. Um, when I had already, you think about it, I had already achieved my goal, right? I
Right.
got the 100 pounds off. I didn't really need to do much, but I was like, I really want to keep this way I feel, way I look. And when I
Right.
went into the next level with this, I was like, this is a great way because, there are stats that show that people lose weight. The average person, I'm going to say average, whatever that's supposed to mean when they do these studies, right? The average person will lose um, how can I put this so it sounds correct to everybody what I'm saying? After 3 years, let's put it this way. After 3 years,
Mhm.
about 65% of the people that lost weight will regain it. So
Okay.
that means only 35% keep it off for,
Right.
past 3 years. I've kept mine off for 10 years. And that's
Wow.
really due to finding foods that serve your blood type because your blood type doesn't change. It's part of your DNA. It helps regulate your glucose levels, which is the sugar levels in our bodies. It helps metabolize your stuff. It helps with your hormones. And then I have known people to use this on the next level. Like, say they want to do intermittent fasting, which means that they only eat a certain amount of hours in a day. You can still use your blood type to do that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's just another layer. It's like your foundation, and then you can add on top of it and still get success from it. I mean, I've had people in clubhouse rooms that I've done that told me their hair has grown longer with
Oh,
it.
okay.
I've had clients that their nails have got stronger and longer. People
Mhm.
have lost weight in the first week because now
Wow.
you're eliminating a lot of the processed foods and you're eating more of the whole foods, but now you're eating foods that only work for your blood type as
Right.
opposed to other blood. Because there's certain foods that irritate certain blood types, and you
Mhm.
might not realize you're getting headaches or stomach aches or your gut health is terrible or your face has been breaking out because you have eczema. It's just all of these things. Sometimes people just don't know.
Right.
So,
Right. So I'm when it came down to you guys doing it, being that you were two different blood types, how did you support one another in this? Because I'm sure the meals were a little bit different.
Yeah, they're a little bit different. So what we did is we made a chart for ourselves really quickly, and we're like, okay, you're this blood type, I'm this blood type. What do we have the same? And we built off of that. So
Right.
there's certain vegetables that we both eat, so we make sure we have a lot of that in the house. And then
Okay.
there's little nuances, like for him, I can have cabbage, but he can't, so it's okay.
Mm.
He ain't missing nothing as he puts it. That's what he says. I ain't missing nothing. My husband is really open to a lot of things we do together because he works first of all full time in the mental health arena, but
Hmm.
he also is a personal trainer. So he knows
Oh, okay.
how important it is to keep our bodies and our minds together on this health journey. And he wants to be here, also for a long period of time,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I look at it as a lifestyle. And I hear people say diet, but when that word comes to me, I think of dying in it, DIE.
Oh, wow.
And I'm looking to give women life back. I'm
Right.
looking to get them more confident about themselves again because unfortunately, what happens when our body changes, especially if you have a baby or you have a debilitating condition, you start feeling a certain kind of way about yourself. We
Right.
know that happened, especially when after you had a baby. And I was telling people for years, girl, 4 or 5 years, yeah, that's the baby weight. That's the baby. There ain't no baby weight. That was Terrell eating his stuff nuts. That's what was happening.
Right.
So when we learn to face the truth about
Yeah.
our health, then you'll start changing it. Because sometimes I feel people keep lying to themselves so they stay stuck and they're not open to trying new things or trying a different way of doing things. There's
Right.
more than one way to get healthy.
Hmm.
It really is. So it's just a matter of what you decide to do for yourself that works for you. So this is just one way.
Right.
Hmm.
So, when you said your husband is a personal trainer, so you have that physical aspect of it, and then you, with being the health coach and really focusing on the blood type, you have that aspect of it. So, do you guys work together? So, you work with clients together so they can go hand in hand, or is it more
That's
separate?
so funny. Boy, if he heard this right now. Anyway, no, we're not really there at that yet. He really wants me to flourish in what I do because he said,
Hmm.
how did he put it? He said, honey, this is your thing. And when I'm ready, then I will join you. Because right now he's still working full time. So
Oh, okay.
I believe
Okay.
once he makes that transition out of that full time, that we'll be working on some availabilities and programs or YouTube or whatever we do, whatever God tells us to do on that, because I feel that would really help a lot of couples. You know, More than one thing, it would help them probably renew their relationship.
Right.
Two, help them communicate even more in those areas of health that a lot of people don't like to talk about. Because
Exactly.
I was the first one. I'll say it because when I had that diagnosis, like I said, I went totally in denial, right?
Yeah.
And the third thing, it'll just give them an opportunity to work on living a longer lifestyle when you work together like that. So those
Right.
are three things I thought about that can help. Yeah.
Well, I know you briefly talked about this, but I know a lot of people are thinking, but does this really work? Does this eating, according to your blood type really, really work? So, what would you say to somebody that's saying that?
I would say absolutely it does. There's different levels to it, and I don't want to get into like the other levels of it, but on the basic level, when you look at certain foods, there's a certain, and I'm getting sciencey here, girl. Okay, there's
Okay.
certain plants uh, that have a certain ingredient in it that irritates the blood at a certain level.
Hmm.
So for someone that's blood type B, and you eating tomatoes and maybe you're itching or you're scratching and you're finding certain things are happening to you, is because there's certain irritant in your blood that's causing that for you for the tomatoes. So
Hmm.
that's one of what we call the avoid foods. There's certain
Okay.
what I call red light foods that really don't serve you. And on another level, certain foods don't serve anybody, like
Oh, wow.
bacon. Bacon doesn't serve anybody. That's the pig. And if we want to look at it a biblical place, God talks about not eating the pig. So Bacon's not good for anybody. Wheat usually gains you weight.
Mhm.
Uh, and I know there was a book out a long time ago. I don't remember the actual author. He talked about that how wheat wasn't really good for anybody. So that kind of works into what we talked about the blood type, right?
Right.
We know alcoholic beverages, if we drink too much of it,
Too much, right.
ate too much of it, especially the ones that are sugary, we
Mhm.
know what sugar does to you,
Yep.
right? You
Yep.
gain weight. You can get addicted to sugar. You know, alcohol. We know if it's too much, for people who have to do it too much, things can happen. It can mess up how you're thinking and the things that you do.
Right.
So we just have to be cognizant of what we're putting in our mouths. And, when you go to the marketplace, read the labels. We want to keep as close as possible to what I call natural foods, whole foods, as possible in our bodies. Because I look at it like this, the more plants you eat, from the gardens, and stuff like that, the better the body responds to that. When the body
Mm.
has to work double time for stuff that's processed,
Yeah.
it's really hurting us. That's when we start getting that dis-ease in the body. It's not easily flowing. It's
Right.
clogging up the arteries. It's clogging up all of the channels that it needs to go into, from the fact that you chew your food all the way down to your stomach. It's a process, and then it
Yeah.
has to be cleaned out, right? So, when you think about it, we want to make sure we find ways to keep ourselves healthy as possible, as close as possible. I know it's not 100% because we live here in America, you know,
Right. Right.
but other countries, they do it. You look over in Italy, they do it very well. Overseas, they do it very well in those countries. How they eat certain fruits and vegetables, and people live long, long lives, over in
Right.
Japan too, So why can't we do that here? It's just
Exactly.
a matter of changing your mindset and actually putting in the work. So it does work. I mean, I've heard people tell me that, you're crazy, you shouldn't be doing, hey, it worked for me. Like I said, I'm 100 pounds off for 10 years. It's worked for so many people that I've helped, and they've seen such great results. Even their blood work has definitely, the numbers have gone into range where it's supposed to be. So
Right.
it does work. It's just a matter of playing around and, changing some things up until you get it to fine tuning it. That's all.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Sounds good, girl. Well, I know you told me that you had a freebie for us.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, let me put that up and then you can kind of share what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, so tell
take the
us about the
second one.
freebie.
Yeah, yeah, take the second one. I put another one up there for you, girl. I
Oh,
typed
okay.
the first one wrong. Hey, I'm human.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
this complimentary guide is gonna really go through all the blood types. There's four of them. There's O, there's A, there's B, and there's AB. AB is the rarest blood type. But in each category, I put the top foods for you to get started with. That you can go to the grocery store, or you might even have it in your kitchen or in your pantry, and start cooking with it and start seeing how that really works for you. I was able to put together a cookbook also with regard to 7 days with 3 meals each. So
Okay.
that's 21 dishes to help people really get started, which I have to make the next edition because now we're more focused on plant based. So I know there's a lot of people that really would love to see dishes in their blood type, using
Yeah,
more plants and fruits. So I have to
plant-based.
get that out.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to work on getting that out with my husband on that one. But it's really a doable lifestyle because there's even, in addition to eating, there's exercises that you can use that really works with your body and your blood type too. So for O's who are like hunters and they're meat eaters and stuff like that, their exercise should really work on more intensity, high
Mhm.
high intensity. So stuff like martial arts and really vigorous type of running, and guys that I say play football will probably be good if they're O's or stuff like that.
Right, right.
I'm just joking with that, but I don't know. I'm just joking with that. But it even goes with your exercises and stuff like that, which I've definitely benefit from because I found out with mine that the doctor told me to swim, and I didn't even know that's something that I can enjoy, and it really does work for my blood type. So,
Right.
um, yeah, so it's just some things that we might not have thought about that are genetic to us, that are DNA to us, that we can use to still help us stay healthy. And that's the crux of it. It's just getting women to really buy in that their health is a priority. And since most of us are the center of our homes, we really do
Yes.
need to be healthy, because when we're not, everything seems to stop.
Hmm.
Everything seems
Yep.
to go, not the way it's supposed to. So when we take care of ourselves first, it's being self it's being, how can I put it? It's being selfish to take care of yourself first, people say, but I feel it really is being selfless when you do it.
Yes.
Because now everybody benefits from you feeling healthy, feeling vibrant, on your game, you're confident, you're
Right.
living longer, you can help your kids, you can help your grandkids, and generations can learn from this too, you
Exactly.
know. Hmm.
Exactly. Well, girl, thank you so much for all of
You're
your
welcome.
wisdom and guidance today. And for all of you that are out there watching us today, be sure to check out that freebie. I'm sure it will be a great resource for you to kind of figure out what kind of foods that you could actually be eating that's going to help you get the benefit and have that ripple effect that we were talking about, that if you're healthy, then you'll be able to pass it down to your friends and family, and then your community, the nation, and of course the world. So I wanted to thank you so much, Terrell, for
Thank
sharing
you
that
so
information with
much.
us. And for those of you who are watching, if you know of anyone you would like me to interview that would you want to get more information from, by all means, let me know. Be sure to hit me a DM or make a comment down in the description. But as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Bye.